There are always athletes that play very well against a certain team or in certain scenarios. Detroit Lions place kicker Matt Prater has never missed a game-winning field goal, the LA Lakers make the LA Clippers wish they didn't exist, and Jim Thome had more walk-off home runs in his career than any player in MLB history. Auto racing is no different. There are drivers that dominate at certain types of tracks, but there is one driver whose sheer fortitude and dominance have gone unnoticed for far, far too long. There's a track in upstate New York called Watkins Glen International, and it's held NASCAR races since the late 1950s. It's listed as being owned by International Speedway Corporation, but that is a filthy lie. It's owned by one man. He's a quiet, polite, short man from Arkansas, and his name is Mark Martin. Mark Martin's NASCAR career spanned for decades. He debuted in the 1980s and ran meaningful races all the way until the end of his career in 2013. He initially started out by driving for Doug Reeder, but had limited success. But when he got together with team owner Jack Roush in the late 1980s, his career took off. Martin was Jack Roush's first driver in NASCAR, and the pair began winning races pretty much right away. Martin would make 653 starts with Roush, winning 35 races, and finished second in points 3 times. Mark also drove for several other owners in the final years of his career, including Rick Hendrick, under whom he earned a 4th second-place points finish at the age of 50 in 2009. Something that separated Mark Martin from others in the field was his unbelievable ability to race on circuits, or road courses.
How'd you learn to do this?
Oh, I grew up in Arkansas, driving on the country roads as a teenager. It's the same thing. You go as fast as you can and stay out of the ditch.
During Martin's career, NASCAR only had 2 road course races per year. So not a lot of drivers spent time working on their road course acumen, but Martin made it a priority. He raced in Roush's IMSA GTO cars at the 24 Hours of Daytona, which helped give him an edge that few in NASCAR had. Mark was incredible at both of NASCAR's road courses. At Sears Point in Sonoma, California, he earned 1 win, 13 top 10s, and an average finish of 12th in 21 career starts. Those are some stout numbers considering everything that goes into road course racing. Road courses have a very high attrition rate, meaning that a lot more cars suffer mechanical failures at these tracks. You'll see some of the best drivers fall out of a race due to suspension issues, transmission problems, or engine failure. Martin only ever had 1 DNF at Sonoma. But we aren't really here to talk about Sonoma. Watkins Glen is one of America's premium road racing circuits. It's held events since the 1950s and even hosted several F1 Grand Prix. In the 1990s, Mark Martin used it to hold clinics on how to turn right and left in a stock car. He made his debut there in 1988, but suffered some issues and ended up finishing 28th, 4 laps down. But that's fine, because he spent the next 10 years finishing in the top 5. Yes, Mark Martin earned 10 consecutive top 5 finishes at Watkins Glen from 1989 to 1998. That is straight up ridiculous. Like, wrap your head around that. 10 consecutive top 5 finishes. We've already talked about attrition on road courses, but there are so many other variables that can affect the outcome of races like this. What strategy are you on? 2 pit stops, 3 pit stops? Will the cautions fall where you need them to? Is someone else running a crazy fuel strategy to try and steal the win? The fact that through all these situations, Mark Martin was able to finish in the top 5 10 times in a row is just beyond my mind. It's ridiculous. But we're just getting started. Martin won the pole at Watkins Glen in 1993, 1994, and 1995. And he also won all 3 of those races and led the most laps in each one. Yes, on top of all those consecutive top 5s, Mark Martin won 3 straight races at Watkins Glen from the pole, leading 67% of the laps in those 3 races. The guy just crushed souls in upstate New York on a yearly basis. When it was all said and done, Mark Martin made 22 starts at Watkins Glen. He won 3 of those races, had 12 top 5 finishes, and 17 top 10s. He led 206 laps and earned an average finish of 9th. That is the best average finish at Watkins Glen among drivers with at least 15 starts there. But the most mind-boggling stat of all is that Mark Martin only finished off the lead lap once in 22 starts at the Glen. He completed 1,941 of 1,945 possible laps. That is 99.8% of the laps. I'm almost mad that he didn't complete all of them. Like, he just missed out on 4 of them, and it was in his first race. But that is just... I've used the word ridiculous too many times, but that's ridiculous! Certain drivers have crazy stats at certain tracks, but with all things considered, it's beyond incredible that Mark Martin was able to have the run of success he had at Watkins Glen. It's a testament to his team and also his driving abilities. Road course racing is all about taking care of your stuff. Don't grind any gears, hit the curbs in the right spot, and have some left at the end. Mark Martin did all that and then some. He's the apex predator. Get it? Because, like, apex of a turn, but also like a great white shark, you know? Funny, right? Thanks for watching this video. If you know of any other drivers that own a track, feel free to share it in the comments below. Or if you thought this video was too positive for you, just check out this video about how every NASCAR driver named Scott sucks.